So here we go then. Man who made 2.3 million selling IPTV boxes has been jailed. What we're going to do, we're going to take a little look at this article. We're going to talk to you about it. You're going to give me your thoughts on it underneath. We're going to see how much of it is absolute rubbish and how much of it is complete truth. That's all we can do. So first, we're going to want your thoughts underneath on this. Are you interested in this sort of article? And let me know how you're getting on. It's been a few days. World Cup's flying in action, so we've been busy with videos for that and other stuff. So let's get on with it. So let's have a look at the article. Man who made 2.3 million selling dodgy Sky TV boxes has been jailed. There's your first one. Sky TV boxes, okay? Dodgy ones. He's been jailed. So this is an article from Lad Bible. We're going to cover it through Lad Bible, have a little look. Then we're going to have a little compared to Torrent Freak, where they talk a bit more sense rather than just the scaremongering you would get from the main media. So, web designer Mark Anthony Powell sold a load of TV boxes that had software on that allowed customers to watch all sorts of programs, including Sky and Disney shows without paying for subscription. So a standard IPTV, which are everywhere around the world these days. He made a load of money from his enterprise over a number of years, but police eventually caught up with him and he may be facing more than a jail sentence, maybe. Powell founded Droidsticks. So, Droidsticks Limited, we've all heard of Droidsticks. The name even rings a bell with me. Selling off more than 24,000 devices. Okay, so these devices were £100 each. 24,000 into 100, 2.4 million. Selling on various websites such as eBay and other places. Between 2014 and 2016, he quite literally made millions from his illegal enterprise before an investigation was started in 2015. So the investigation's clearly started because normally he suddenly made millions of pounds. If you're making money in the millions, people are going to want to know where from. And that comes down to a lot of, rather than being investigated because of the actual streaming device, it's because where's all your money come from? Are you paying the tax on the money? Is it a lot of these sellers are normally done for tax avoidance and tax evasion, but I don't believe this one was, because it seems he has registered the company, everything. In total, the City of London Police Intellectual Property Crime Unit found that he made 2.3 million in sales. Basically, the technology worked because the boxes had a piece of software on that which was called Droidsticks, which I've heard of, Droidsticks Wizards, I believe a few years back now, and allowed users to build their own group of add-ons to access subscription services without actually paying for them. So the thing is there, basically the technology worked, the box has a piece of software called Droidsticks Wizard, as we covered. Of course, that's totally illegal, especially if you're making the money from it. In April 2015, one of the boxes was bought from a shop in Chingford, East London, by investigators from Sky. The police then arrested Powell shortly afterwards. They found that he had 1,300 boxes in storage unit, as well as 121 boxes in a shop owned by Powell. Essex Live claims that Powell refused to answer any questions during his police interview. However, he did admit supplying articles for use in fraud at Southwark Crown Court in August, for which he has now been sentenced. So he's been done for fraud. So that'd be defrauding the companies like Sky, I'm assuming. Quick moral of the story, as always, is don't get greedy. 1,300 boxes, 121 boxes in a shop in broad daylight. Powell attempted to hide the legitimate, I can't even say it, nature of his business by concealing evidence that he was selling products pre-configured to stream Sky Sports and Sky Cinema. However, officers were able to prove he was aware the set-top boxes were being used for this purpose by thousands of customers. So he's obviously had chats with them, he's obviously given instructions. It is vital to remember that watching premium content without subscription is illegal, and enabling access to it can land you with criminal record, as this case shows. So like I'm saying, I am just reading the article. This isn't my opinions, just reading the article here. We're going to read a different article in a minute. Powell has now been sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, as well as facing confiscation hearing for any assets that he may have proceeds of the crime. So at the moment, he hasn't lost his money or any assets he has. The financial sums involved and the length of the sentence handed down today underline the seriousness of this type of criminality. So, question for you guys: 2.3 million for 2.5 years in prison if you got to keep it. I'm not saying he will. The confiscation proceedings are set to take place on 19th of May 2023. So I'm assuming he's probably out by now, is he? Or no, he can't be. He's only just been sentenced. Interesting. This was also covered on Torrent Freak, which is a great source for these sort of articles, mainly because they get right into it. They know the history, they've been around it for a long time, and they don't clickbait it or scaremonger it. So, we're going to skim through it because we don't want to cover what we've already read. Powell was known all over the UK. After ignoring many obvious warnings, his eventual arrest was no surprise. So he could have made all this money and shut down. Like, he could have stopped at 1 million and probably got away with it. Starting in the early part of last decade, large numbers of technically minded individuals began selling pirates. IPTV, we know all that. Unlike many of their cohorts running torrent and streaming websites, many pirate box sellers conducted business in person and in broad daylight. So-called fully loaded Android boxes were openly sold on eBay, Amazon. By mid-2015, it was common knowledge that UK's Police Intellectual Property Unit, Trading Standards and Sky were teaming up. We knew this. New marketing strategy changed nothing. Android Sticks Limited was incorporated in November 2013 with sole director Powell describing his occupation as electronic technician. Almost immediately, Powell was tackling his first intellectual property related problem, and in August 2014, Android Sticks Limited was sensibly renamed Droid Sticks Limited. The name change meant that Powell's shop in London needed a new sign, but online sales continued to grow, on eBay especially. In the summer of 2015, business operating in the same growing niche as Droid Sticks were raided. So they all got raided. Droid Stick put out a message. You have all used the independent XPNO add-ons. It was all through KODI by the looks of it. eBay reported Droid Sticks. Powell was raided in 2016. Guilty plea, 30-month prison sentence on November the 11th, 2022. So that was a few days ago, 10 days ago now. He was sentenced to 2.5 years, 4.5 months imprisonment, and a slightly longer sentence of 2 years, 6 months, but both agreed Powell knew exactly what he was doing. He attempted to hide it. Again, very similar. So they mentioned a website in there, Best for Cody, which doesn't seem to be online anymore either, unless I'm mistaken. They used to advertise them a lot as well. I recognise the company. I believe they emailed me to offer advertising and things like that. And I obviously never used to advertise anything along those lines. I didn't do IPTV. I never advertised IPTV. Everything we've always done on this channel here was to help you stream for free. Used to cover a lot of unofficial stuff in the past, but obviously things like this change on what you do. It's fine, but people get greedy. This guy, 2.3 million, you're taking the mick a bit. You know, there's IPTV sellers out there. I'm sure maybe a few hundred customers, but 2,500 is a different kettle of fish, and £100, which is quite a lot as well. You know, if people want to sell, that's their choice. Obviously, just understand the risks and don't get greedy by the looks of it. Brilliant. I've been Doc Squiffy. Do let me know your thoughts. Linked underneath. Do comment that for me, and I'll see you soon.